Hey guys! So, bad news, which you're probably noticing from the short episode length. Something went wrong. You're probably noticing that also because I'm not anywhere near Hyrule Castle like I said I'd be. So, a long time ago you may remember that I talked about how much I'm bothered by the idea that Zelda Breath of the Wild does not let you have proper control over your saves. That if one of these days, like, a power outage might happen, or anything could happen that interrupts my recording, and then I'm totally screwed because I can't go back. When I'm playing any other game, like Nier Automata, or Mass Effect, or Morrowind, or whatnot, I make a new save every single session manually. That way, if something goes wrong, I can always revert to the save from the last session, and then just replay the part that we lost. Well, we lost footage, and I can't do anything about it. It's really unfortunate. The timing sucks. It's about as bad as... It's not quite as bad as it could be. It could have happened during a Guardian Beast or the fight against Ganon at the end or something. So it's not like I lost something like that. But I did lose my trek to get the final 2 memories. I have all the memories now. And I can't show you really how I got them because it's gone forever. I can try to explain what happened a little bit, but that's about it. Basically what happened was it was like a 1 in a million error with my recording software where I was like, alright, that was a good hour and a half of recording, let's hit stop recording, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll have your file, and it's right over here, and it's gone. Is basically what happened. It's just boom, lost the recording, it's gone. Just an incredibly rare error that just destroys it. It's probably happened once before, but I don't really remember. It's that unusual, and it's gone. And this is so the difference between this game and every other game I play in this sort of genre, these open RPG type things, if you make manual saves in one of these other games, those games also have autosaves and quick saves as options. You can do a quick save button and it'll also autosave constantly, but it'll have rotating autosave / quick save slots, but those will be separate from your manual saves. That's not how Zelda handles saves. In Zelda, the autosaves will eventually override your manual saves. It just has like something like 8 save slots total, and that's it. And it'll keep autosaving, and if the most recent 8 saves are all autosaves, then those are the only saves you have. It just deletes all of your manual saves if the autosaves happen more recently, which they do, because they happen like every 3 minutes practically, so... If you play for an hour and a half like I did, all the footage is gone, and also the save date is gone, and so I can't go back to redo anything I did, unfortunately. The good news is I only did 1 shrine, and that shrine was a minor test of strength. Somewhere around, I think it was this one, or something like that. It was just a minor test of strength, so you didn't miss anything. You missed me fighting one little dude for a second there. So, to recap what happened... We were around here last time you guys saw me, and I was like, this silhouette looks just like the photo. Why can't I find the memory? Turns out the silhouette of this was correct, but the silhouette of the little tower sticking out was wrong, because it was on the wrong side of the photo, which meant that we had to do like a mirror image cut through here. And so I teleported to this shrine and went down to here. I believe it's this tree exactly, I think, is the memory location. So like I was... off by 180 degrees, which is why the silhouette was correct, but the memory wasn't showing up, is because the silhouette looks the same on both sides, minus the tower being in a different position on the far side. And so that's how I got to that memory, which is off in this direction. And thankfully, I can show you that, because they at least did give us the option to play these back from this menu, if I can find it correctly. Oh, that's concerning. How am I going to find the correct one? That's the one.
There's one. Oh, and another. The flowers we have in Hyrule aren't just beautiful. They're also quite useful as ingredients for a variety of things. This one here is called the Silent Princess. It's a rare, endangered species. Despite our efforts, we can't get them to grow domestically yet. The princess can only thrive out here, in the wild. All that we can hope is that the species will be strong enough to prosper on its own. Is that what I think it is? Look at this. I don't believe it, but I actually caught one. This delicacy is known to have very, very potent effects under the proper circumstances. Ta-da! Research from the castle shows ingesting one of these can actually augment certain abilities. We wouldn't be in a controlled environment out here, but with your level of physical fitness, you'd be a perfect candidate for the study. Go on. Taste it.
There we go. So, from there, after I went and got that memory, which is relatively straightforward, mostly talks about the Silent Princess, which is kind of a nice detail. The Silent Princess doesn't grow in captivity, and she can't manage to master that stuff. It was over here, I guess, yeah. So, I decided, and the next one, I bet I can find it. Because I realized I never have seen this castle ever, and I couldn't figure out why. It's at the end of some sort of long walkway sticking out of a cliff. I'm like, where the heck is this place? And I looked at the Zora place on the map, which I still haven't visited, but it doesn't look like castles at all, especially not with that kind of shape. Like, there's no straight lines for the most part here. Maybe this place a little bit, but doesn't seem like it would be the main walkway with that thing you're looking at in the picture. So I figured the thing I'm looking at is probably Hyrule Castle. It looks vaguely like the Smash Brothers map I've played before, with the very spiky pillars and everything, so I figured maybe that's Hyrule Castle I'm looking at in that picture. And it turns out it was Zelda Princess's Study, which is now filled in on the map here. Is this little area right here is where the memory is located. So I just went across the water, climbed on up, found my way up in there, and as a rather poignant moment, in Princess Zelda's study, there is a silent princess just blooming in the middle of the room. I'm like, oh, that's a nice touch. It fit in nicely with the last memory I had just gotten. Her journal is in there. I'll have to find my way back in there when we're getting ready to defeat Ganon at the end of the playthrough and reread that for you guys, because it's lost to time for now, but I can go get it and read it again when I get there again. But that's how we got to this memory over here. Somewhere. There it is.
Incredible. We're at a point now where we can actually control them. At the current rate, we'll soon know all we need to know about the Guardians and the Divine Beasts. And should Ganon ever show itself again, we'll be well positioned to defend ourselves.
What are you doing out here, Zelda?
I was assessing the results of the experiment with the Guardians. These pieces of ancient technology could be quite useful against them.
I know that. They are essential to Hyrule's future, and our research demands that we keep a close eye on them. However, as the princess, you currently have a crucial unfulfilled responsibility to your kingdom. Let me ask you once more, when will you stop treating this as some sort of childish game?
I'm doing everything I can. I'll have you know that I just recently returned from the Spring of Courage, where I offered every ounce of my prayers to the goddess.
And now you are here wasting your time. You need to be dedicating every moment you have to your training. You must be single-minded in unlocking the power that will seal Calamity Ganon away.
I already am. Don't you see? There's nothing more I can do. My hope is that you'll allow me to contribute here in whatever way I can.
No more excuses, Zelda. Stop running away from your duty. As the king, I forbid you to have anything to do with these machines from this moment on, and command you to focus on your training. Do you know how the gossip mongers refer to you? They are out there at this moment, whispering amongst themselves that you are the heir to a throne of nothing. Nothing but failure. It is woven into your destiny that you prove them wrong. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So that definitely feels like a betrayal, because she is investing everything she can, seemingly, into this goal, and just utterly failing as far as we can tell. And instead of even having reconciliation with her own father, he is just calling her a failure. Like, it's one thing to push her towards the destiny thing, because he is a ruler, and, like, this needs to happen, and there's duty and so on. Like, I get that much, at least, but the part where you're like, the people say you're awful, and I'm relaying this to you. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you saying that to her? Like, you're supposed, like, as a father figure, it seems like you're supposed to be different from the public. Like, when like, essentially other people are talking shit about their children, like, it seems like the parents are, like, the one people that are supposed to be on their side still. And pulling that away feels like it just leaves them completely alone, and it almost seems like you're dooming them to fail at that point. So, finally, I found this forest location doesn't give you a lot to go on, but it does look like a lot of the basic foresty areas we see a lot of the time, and it looks very flat. It looks like it's in a flat-ish area with a few little rocks sticking up a little bit, and then out in the distance, out the back of those trees, where it goes out and opens up again, that looks like it opens up completely. It looks like a total non-forest, but also not a river, and not a mountain, not anything else, just another plain. So I figured that it would be more of Hyrule Field in here somewhere. And so I tried over here, and when I got to the wetland stable, the paintbrush old man guy was there, and he was like, I think I found that over in the place northeast of Bottomless Swamp. So we tried this forest right here, and lo and behold, this low, see this topographic low here, this dark spot between the lines? That right there is the path you see ahead of you in this camera angle right here. So that whole area, I wish that the camera wouldn't keep moving like that. I mean, it makes sense, but sure. Where was I? Like, this right here is where that photo is located. So it's kind of a nondescript location, but it gives you just enough to kind of find it, and thankfully paintbrush hair old man dude is there to help out, and so that pointed me off to this.
How did it come to this? The divine beasts, the guardians, they've all turned against us. It was Calamity Ganon. It turned them all against us. And everyone, Mifa, Urbosa, Rivali and Daruk, they're all trapped inside those things. It's all my fault. Our only hope for defeating Ganon is lost, all because I couldn't harness this cursed power. Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing. So I really am just a failure. All my friends, the entire kingdom, my father most of all. I tried and I failed them all. I left them all to die.
There we have it. Not much new information revealed in that one. It's sort of how we knew things ended, which is that everyone died or was trapped and so on, and they failed, and there was those two on their own, and there was nothing left. Surprisingly, it does not show Link dying or being wounded, so that must not be in the photographs. There are more question marks down here. Only one of them really... If we're supposed to think these are in any way chronological, which I think they are, because this one has the Return of Calamity Ganon followed by Despair, this is probably a memory of Link dying / being wounded fatally. Then you have the Master Sword, which yeah, that also would have happened afterwards, after he was defeated. So that must be what that memory is. Is there another one up here? This memory must be related to the 2 memories up here must be related to the other 2 guardian beasts, I suppose. So that's probably I've probably correctly identified all of the remaining memories now. So that didn't give us much new information, but it showed us the emotional scene that we knew kind of that had happened but hadn't seen yet. So that's the 3 things that had happened, more or less. I also went to that shrine and I got 1 more stamina, so now my stamina is full, and then I decided to switch back to putting my points into hearts again, which is why we're 1 past that, because the 1 shrine I did during the session took me from 7 to 8. So that's pretty much where we left off. Thankfully we didn't miss any shrine puzzles, but we did miss me adventuring around for like an hour and a half, which is multiple episodes of what people presumably would have enjoyed, but they're gone now. Really not happy that happened. It's very, 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 very late right now, so sorry about the micro episode. This is all I have time for right now, but thanks for watching like always. Hopefully this never happens again in this series, and because my other series I have fail-safes of having manual saves that are all safe and everything. Thanks for watching like always. I gotta go to bed, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have time to record more. I am very behind schedule after losing an hour and a half of footage. See you next time.